Hey guys, Kev here, and I have an overview to do for you. So, this is what just happened. Kev, shut the fuck up! My wife just yelled at me because I was walking down the hallway going, my kid's asleep. Anyway, I went downstairs to put this in my wife's hand because I'm like, I need her to try this because she struggled with my Hogue Compound 3.5. She struggled with the Heretic Colossus I had. And then I got the Kershaw Livewire, and she had much better, she actually could fire this one-handed, right? But it still wasn't like easy. It was just like, she got it, but definitely better, right? A lot better. Then I handed her this just now, and she's just like, this is cool. She's like, this is cute. It's a good size. It's not huge. Like, she actually was like, this is cool, to the point where, maybe I'll get her one at some point. But that's important, right? I think it's really important to note that my wife, who is a 110 pound, whatever it is, female with normal hands, whatever, I'm trying to say this as politically correct as I can. I'm not saying there's not women out there that can't hammer any OTF, right? But if your wife is like mine and struggles with things like OTFs or stronger detents on knives, etc., this knife works. She was just easily firing this, and it has to be the smoothest. It has to be the smoothest OTF I've handled in terms of that button. The 035, the 040 that I've tried, similar in terms of how smooth they are with that ceramic ball system they have. So you have this metal plate right here, and then there's actually ceramic balls, I don't know how many or whatever, underneath the switch. And that's what glides on that steel plate. And you can see the track from them there, right? And that's what makes it so much smoother than other OTFs. Now, to be fair for me, the Kershaw Livewire is almost the same smoothness. Like, it really is. This is a little less resistance. Like, the feeling on there is more smooth. Not by much, though, honestly. Like, but you can see how much quicker I can fire this. Now, I think the switch and everything might be smaller. Let's see if we can compare. I'm not trying to do a comparison, but no, it doesn't look much smaller. Let me try it. Yeah, see, I have to kind of like re-grip a little bit just because I'm sliding over the switch kind of. But you guys have seen my videos on this. I can fire it repeatedly pretty well. Maybe my hand's a little sweaty. But this one, it's just like butter. So that's the first thing I wanted to point out is it's very, very good for your average woman, if that's the best way for me to put it. So keep that in mind if that's what you're here for. I'll probably title this something like A Knife My Wife Can Actuate, or, something that'll get me in trouble. But, yeah. So this is the Guardian Tactical 025. Probably should have started with that. 025 standing for the blade length. So this is a 2.5-inch blade. And GTX is Guardian Tactical, and then I guess the model is just X, or maybe the X is for Tactical, It's a small size knife. So if you look at it closed compared to a Kershaw Livewire, and then a Compound 3.5 from Hogue, you can see it is quite a bit smaller, right? I guess we could open it up. There you go. And line that up a little bit. There you go. Big shout out to Connor. He sent this in for me to check out. I believe his channel Now, if you saw the unboxing, I was a little bit all over the place. I believe his channel is West Coast EDC. I hope I got that right. If not, somebody's getting a shout out. But go check out West Coast EDC on YouTube. I'm sure he's on Instagram as well under that name. But he was kind enough to loan this to me. He reached out and asked if I want to check it out. So I do appreciate that. He reached out because he saw these videos, or at least this one, and he said, the Guardian Tactical is probably the smoothest, easiest operating OTF he's had. And I'm not sure, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he might have said this is the best OTF he's had. And honestly, he's, you know, if that's what he said, I think he's not far off from, you know, I'm not far off from agreeing. It started with me absolutely falling in love with this Hogue Compound 3.5. Which, to be fair, I still absolutely adore. It shotguns out of there. I mean, it really does. Love this knife. And then I got the Kershaw Livewire. And I immediately fell in love with this as well. And it kind of took the place of the Hogue in terms of my favorite. Just because it's a little easier to actuate. It's a little more pocket-friendly. Design-wise, a little bit more EDC friendly. I like the clip, honestly, better because this one is really, it moves when you squeeze down. Where this one just is amazing. It looks kind of weird on a cant, but it works great. All of these are made in the United States, which is just amazing. It's awesome. I love that. So this one, you know, took over, and then he sent me this one, and I don't know if, like, I'm going to go hunt one of these down, but, you know, I'm contemplating it. The big downside to me on this one is it does not have a reversible clip. It has this stupid glass breaker that nobody needs, but at least is just integrated back there. It's not like in some annoying way, sticking way out. But do we need this triangle thing here? I don't know. We could have a dual-mounted clip, would be awesome. Yes, it would be less clean, but you already have a very unclean knife. You have the clip on the side that has no hardware. Like, I don't know. You could have easily put some clip screws here or whatever. The way Kershaw did it was they mounted it from the rear, and you can flip it over. It cants that way, so it cants this way, which is awesome. The way Hogue did it, did I say Hogue? This is Kershaw. The way Hogue did it was they have these two spots back here for the clip on each side, which is awesome. Somebody did tell me that the clip actually is the what stops the blade from coming out the back. I don't know how true that is, if the screws are doing that, but I would think there's more going on in there because it really thunders in. And who knows if you took the clip off, right? Somebody might want to do that, and I don't know. Anyway, so they didn't do anything like that here. They mounted it to the side right up here. You know, so that means the blade probably doesn't reach up here. And so they probably could have just straightened this out and then mounted something from the back and had it be reversible. Whatever, to each their own, but being a lefty, I would have loved to see that. This clip is okay. You know, it works. Nothing wrong with it. Patent pending on this design. You'll see that on a lot of knives. And what that really means is we don't have the money to patent this. And we don't want anybody to copy it either. So we have a pending patent. Things I don't like. I don't like the way the screws sit. They're these domed screws. This one like sits out of the frame here on the side. It's very odd how this screw sits. It looks very kind of rigged together in my opinion. Like, I don't know. I shouldn't be able to just, I don't know. It just seems weird to me. That's probably it. You know, the design here is fine, whatever. Don't love the glass breaker, but honestly, it's not that bad. If it had a reversible clip, I really wouldn't even care, but I wish they just went flat and put a clip that would flip. Yeah, I would say that's about it. I do find it a little goofy having holes in the blade. I feel the same way about the 035 and 040. But those are more so annoying because they almost look like a hole you could flick. And I find it frustrating when you have an OTF that has like a fuller or something where it's like, I'm not going to be able to flick this. Why is it here? You know? This is a little more like speed hole kind of just design thing, which is fine. But I do prefer, you know, just like a solid blade. Aesthetically, I think that just looks a little cleaner. But this is fine on here. Again, the size is, in my opinion, very good. I think this is the perfect little just EDC knife, you know. Most people are not going to use a OTF for hard use. I know there's a lot of people out there who have pride in the fact that they can jam their Microtech into a wood freaking stake like this and nothing will happen. I know. But most people are just carrying these to have an OTF to play with and cut some shit, right? So this size is like perfect for that, in my opinion. And it's not tiny. I feel like the UTX 70 is pretty small, but I haven't handled one. I've seen them in person, just haven't handled it. But they look like really small and petite. The UTX 85 is more like this, I would say. A little bit bigger, but more in this range, I think. But somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, of course. I'm sure you will. But yeah, I really like this size. Ergonomically, it's got a good size grip for me. Large glove size hand. Fits really well. You know, you can rest right up here on the blade to do your cutting. I don't know how much use this edge has, but it feels really sharp. It feels kind of just brand new. It's okay. I cut some paper with it, and it did okay in that. And I know that's not the end-all, be-all of tests or whatever, but it did okay. It didn't, like, you know, scream super sharp. Like, these two were cutting S-cuts, like, in paper out of the box, which I thought was pretty impressive for an OTF. It does have a hollow grind, but it is pretty... it's not thin because it's relatively thick stock and a very short grind. So it's still rather thick, but it's not terrible. It's definitely going to be really good for EDC. So I don't have much of an issue with the cutting on this. No big deal. We talked about carry. It's got good weight. It's got a clip. It's not deep carry, but deep carry enough. Yeah, the sounds are good. The action / fidget factor. So there is one other downfall with this. Not downfall, but thing I don't love. The button is very low profile or slippery, sort of. You'll see how I miss sometimes and I'll kind of slide over or whatever. Uh-oh, did I fuck it up or something? See, I don't know if I'm just like sweaty or what. Yeah, I think that's all it is. Seems to be binding up more. I don't know why. It's on the retraction, it's like... There's something like under the switch. I don't know if you're supposed to put oil here, so I kind of don't want to do that just to be safe. It seems fine. Anyway, the action's good. It has good strength to the mechanism, and that's one thing I look for in an OTF. The live wire is good, honestly. When I first got it out of the box, it felt a little weaker, but it's broken in really nicely. And I'd put it on par with that. Right? The Hogue here is just a thunderclap. Like, nothing's beating that I've handled, but... so it's fine, right? What I was saying is the switch. So on the Hogue here, you have this kind of mountain right here. So you push up against that and through it, and it makes what I think is a stronger spring. Not strong, but stronger, especially than this. Makes it feel less so because you have that grip that you can grab. It also makes it where you can grab it from the side like that. You can push it out like this. You can grab it from the back like that and pull down. You can do different things with it that make it a little bit more friendly, right? Where this doesn't have that. It just has this one little thumb ramp, and you can kind of slip on it a little bit because it's not the most aggressive jumping, which I appreciate, honestly. And when I'm not like sweaty or whatever, I can grab it real easily. But it does mean it's a little harder to do these moves and things like that. You know, the Kershaw is somewhere in the middle, right? It has a little bit of a hump and a little bit more aggressive on the jimping, I think. And so, I don't know. Just a middle ground. So, I love the action and everything on the Switch. I just prefer those switches themselves a little bit more. Yeah, so I don't know the price on these. I think they're somewhere around $250 to $300. It could be more. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that price is fine. USA made, OTF, very good quality, amazing Switch, all that stuff. It has a patent pending. It's in LMAX, by the way. I don't know if I said that right there. LMAX steel and aluminum on the frame. So, really good piece, and I think I also think maybe I'm just having a little fatigue because I've been, doing this nonstop for 20 minutes. I think if you're looking for a knife for your wife or another female of some kind, your daughter, whatever, right? Or even a son that, is smaller or whatever, that A, doesn't want a big-ass knife, and B, maybe doesn't love reverse flicking like we do, right? Just wants something simple. Or C, wants an OTF. This is an amazing piece for that, I think. Because imagine just having this at the bottom of their purse or wherever. Take it out, easily open it, make a cut, and put it away, right? Where I think we get in the weeds a lot with, say, a fixed blade is, I got to get it out of the sheath, and now I have this live blade here. I got to do the cut. I got to put this somewhere or have it on something or whatever, and then I got to, get it back in there and make sure I don't cut myself as I do that, which sounds simple, but, or if you have, like, a folding knife, like, I got to get this out. I got to open it. Most likely I'm not going to be reverse flicking it, but sure. I got to make my cut, and now I got to, safely put this away. I got to pull this tab down. Oh, I got to do it with both hands. I got to, do this. And this is like best case with an axis lock. Say you gave them, a liner lock or frame lock or something, they're like fiddling with the lock. Like, how many times have I seen my mom do that? I gave her a slip joint. That's what she uses, and she's fine with it, right? But like this, pick it up, cut, close it, put it away. Super easy to open, super easy to close. It's literally probably the best knife you can give somebody who's not a knife person. Like, it's pretty straightforward. Oh, what's this thing? Oh, okay. How does that? Oh, right? Like, or you tell them once, just push forward, push back. Make sure make sure you're not doing this while you do it, and you're good to go, right? Downside, obviously, on the other end of the spectrum, it looks tactical, right? This looks menacing to people. 2.5 inches of death. That's where the speed holes are not cool, right? Like, they kind of look a little aggressive. All this shit right here, like, just clean scales would be nice. The stupid glass breaker, sure, you could sell that as a safety feature of some kind, but we all know what it's meant to do, crush skulls. So it has its pros and its cons for that purpose, but I think this is a fantastic knife for somebody like that, and I really do think I'm going to get one for my wife. Do I want to go ahead and test UTX 70 and some other ones, like the Manticore Tiny, whatever that one's called, S or whatever? I don't know. I doubt that any of those is going to be better than this. The only thing I could anticipate is that maybe they're a little smaller, which could be good. But this thing rocks. Seriously rocks. So I'm going to probably look for one and then I'll keep it if she doesn't like it, whatever. Because I think even for me, this is a great backup knife, even a secondary, but since it's right-handed, I would just put it in my back left pocket. Or what I think this would be good for is a pouch. So if you have a pouch set up, like you're setting up a pouch, you're putting all your tools in there to have whatever for your backpack or wherever, this would be a great product to just slot in there. And whenever you need a knife, boom, cut, boom, put it away, bang, right? I think it's great for that easy one-hand manipulation. If you also have like your multi-tool in there, I don't know. So there's a lot of good here and a lot of good ideas, and I think this product's amazing. And I wanted to thank Connor. Thank you, dude. I appreciate you really pushing this one and recommending it to me and sending me yours to check out. I'm hoping there's like a cool version of some kind that I can find, or I don't know. If anybody has a comparable, if anybody else out there thinks that they have an example of a better OTF like Connor did when I showed the Hogue, he recommended this. If anybody else has something else you think would beat it, and you either can point me in the right direction of one, or you want to send me yours to check out, that would be awesome. It's always cool checking out people's recommendations, and it's always nice when it's good. I have to warn people, lately when people reach out to send me loaners, I don't take loaners as much anymore. I definitely don't ask for them. But if somebody offers cool knives or whatever, I'm down, right? But one thing I note a lot is don't get upset with me if I don't like it. I've had people send me knives and then I shit on the knife. Personally, I just don't like the knife, right? And then they never talk to me again. Which, I get it. But, I'm just being honest. It's my opinion. It doesn't mean that knife is not good anymore. If you loved it, you could still love it, right? Just for me, it wasn't good. And I have to be honest, right? So, anyway, this one's not in that case. This one's fantastic. So that is the Guardian Tactical 025 OTF made in the United States. I believe it's made in my state of Pennsylvania. And this one is the king of the switch. I mean, seriously, gotta have the best switch I've tried. And yeah, earlier I was just fatigued. I mean, see? Yeah, I think my thumb is just tired. All right, I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. And I will catch you later.